Hello, my name is Jessica and I work for the Brantford Public Library, and today I'm going to be showing you our January adult craft flower painting. But first we're going to go over all the materials that we will need before we get started. You're going to need 2 paper plates. One is going to be used for a stencil, the other is for your paints. You're going to need a water cup, 11 by 14 canvas, or if you don't have a canvas, you can cut out a poster board or a piece of paper of your choice. You're going to need scissors for your stencil, chalk for your stencil, and we are going to be using Q-tips today to create our flowers, along with a large brush and a small detailed brush. If you have a palette knife for paint, you can use that, but if not, you can use a spoon. And then we are going to be needing 6 different colors of paints today. You're going to need a red and a pink, a light green and a dark green, along with a white and a blue of your choice for the backgrounds. Now that we have all of our material, let's get started. Okay. So first thing we're gonna do is work on filling in our background color. We're gonna be mixing our blue and whites to create our background. So I added some blue and some whites on one of my paper plates. And if you haven't already, dip your brush in your water and dry it off before you use it. But we are going to mix our white and our blue together to create a background color of our choice. I would like a very light blue color so it doesn't take away from our flowers. But once I have created this baby blue color, I'm going to use long brush strokes all the way left to right until we have filled in the whole background and you don't see any of that white shining through. I went ahead and painted this background, so it should look something like that when you're done. But while we are letting our background dry, remember long brush strokes all the way back and forth. Once this is drying, we are going to go ahead and cut out our stencil using our other paper plate. With our scissors, we are going to cut out this inner circle. It should look something like this when you're done. And we are going to be using this as our stencil to figure out about where we would like to place our green leaves first. So I'm going to take the chalk and our stencil, place it about where I'd like it. Just give a rough outline where we're going to place those green leaves at. So now that we have filled in our background, we cut out our stencil and we have traced it out, we will be ready for our next step, adding the green leaves. So now that we have our background finished and our stencil outlines, I'm going to be showing you how to create these green leaves around the edge. You're going to be needing the light green, the dark green, and the whites paint with your small paintbrush. If you haven't added it into the water and dried it off, go ahead and do that now. And then I'm going to be picking up a little bit of the green paint along with the white paint, and I'm going to add a line, and from this line you're going to add other smaller lines connecting to it. And I'm going to repeat this step a few times wherever you like, just around the edge. You can go back and pick up more paint if you feel like it's not dark enough, or if you feel like it's too light. Just pick up more paint and go completely over it again. So the thing about leaves is it's nature. It doesn't have to be symmetrical. They don't all have to be the same length. You can have fun with it. So that's one style of the leaves that we are going to be creating. I'm going to be creating another leaf using the light green, and I'm going to be picking up whites, and these ones that kind of curve more. Just kind of have fun with them. You can do real big curves just throughout the painting. And we're just gonna fill it in. Now, if you want to pick up the light green and the dark green together, you can do that too. But we're just gonna work around messing around with these 3 different colors and filling in the whole way around this circle. Now, I do like to add a few of the leaves that aren't touching. I may add some just loosely coming off the side. I think that's fun. But we're gonna work on doing these different kind of leaves the whole way around. And we are also going to use our Q-tip. Once you have worked all the way around, I'm going to pick up some of that green and white paint, and you're going to add some dots to fill in the area, or you can even go right on top. Add some dots here and there. I like to add the dark green dots on top of the light green, and then vice versa, light green on top of the dark green. And you're going to just continue around the whole circle until you have filled in the green the whole way around. Okay, so now that we have finished with our light green, dark green, and whites, it should look something like this along the edge. You want it filled in, and it's okay if you still see some of that chalk shining through. We're going to cover it up with the flowers. So again, here's a reference to what we're going to be creating. So now we are going to be needing our red, our pink, and our white paint. Now, if you still have some clean white paint on your palette, you can use that, but mine has green all mixed in, so I gave you some fresh whites. And now you're going to need your palette, knife, or your spoon so we can scoop up this paint, and we're going to place it right on the canvas. So let's get to it. So I'm going to scoop up red first. Place just a glob of it. And then we're going to pick up some more red paint, and we're going to place some more globs. Now we're wanting to do this on the inside of the circle. Now you're welcome to do a few small ones along the edge, but I want to try to avoid going all the way off the green. And I'm just going to randomly place some red. You can do some smaller globs and some bigger globs of paint. And then I'm going to go over, and it's okay if the paints mix because we're going to mix them together anyways. And just place some pink. Let's see. And then you're going to go around with some of your whites. Okay, and now that we have our first globs down, I'm going to go back over and like all my red spots, I want to add a little bit of pink, or you can go back and add white right on top. Sorry about that. We're going to add little white globs on top of the red, and you can throw some on top of the pink while you're picking it up. of the red on top of the pink. On top of the whites. So you're just going to go around until you have 2 colors on each of the globs. Really no wrong way to do this. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw another glob down here. Some red on top. Okay, and now we are ready to pick up our Q-tips. And we are going to spread out the flowers. So I'm gonna start with the middle one. And you just take your Q-tip. And instead of, you can go in circular motions, but I like to move my Q-tip in and out. And we're not trying to mix the colors together, we're just trying to spread it out. And you're just gonna use the same technique. Now, since I started with the pink one, I'm gonna try to go around with the lighter color ones first. Now it's your choice if you want to have a little gap in between the flowers or if you want them butted up directly next to each other. You can use a fresh Q-tip or keep using the same one. That's up to you if you want the colors to mix more. But you're going to continue this step, spreading out that paint. Now it is going to be globbed on there still, and it is going to take a little bit to dry. Small one, but when it dries, that paint will dry flat. You won't have to worry about it being raised up really high, but you're going to continue this around your whole flowers. Now let's say like you have gone over all of them, but you're not happy with one of the flowers, you can always go back over and slightly spread it out a little bit more. Or like let's say you don't like how dark these areas are together, you can always go back and pick up some more of like a lighter color. Like I'm gonna pick up a little bit more white and add it right there in the middle and spread it out. Yeah, I like how lighter that one looks. So you can just go around and keep playing with it. And when you're all done, you should have these marbled flower effects. And don't forget, the very last and most important part is your signature. You should be very proud of your painting. And please send us some pictures of your paintings when you are done and let us know how you liked the video. Thank you, and I hope to see you next month.